A lot of us are familiar with the story of a frog in the well. This frog used to live in this well, and one fine day, this well dried up. There were no bugs, so this frog was starving. And so, in order to get more food, it gathered courage and it climbed up the well, and it saw that the outside world had a lot of food and a lot of opportunities. Without going into the metaphorical meaning of this fable, I want to talk about the literal meaning of this fable and how we probably, as frogs in the well, have moved out of our comfort zones, moved out of our hometowns, our villages in search of better opportunities. And one thing I want to say here is this frog jumped out of the well only when it realized that there were zero opportunities for it to get food in its own well. So it waited till the last bug in the well was eaten, and only then did it jump out of the well. The second thing is that this frog jumped out of the well in the times when there was no digital intervention. So as of today, if I were to talk about a frog who's sitting in a well, it will probably order food online from outside, get it home delivered, and probably live in the well forever. The second thing is that this frog would probably do a job that requires it to be online, work with the help of digital tools, and probably make a career out of sitting in the well itself. So digital has changed this entire frog narrative story, where the need to move out of our hometown, the need to move out of small towns where there are no job opportunities, no food, no lifestyle benefits, etc., is probably the gap between the big city and the small town is probably narrowing day by day because of the intervention of digital technologies. And during this pandemic, we have actually seen that there are a lot of job opportunities, there are a lot of things that can be done from anywhere in the world, and the gap has further reduced. Now let's talk about all the frogs who even in the digital age have jumped out of the well, gone to other cities, made great careers for themselves. And I want to talk about all of us who probably belong to that category and what we go through on a daily basis. Now, people like us, when we jump out of our well, we realize that we don't have to live in any place for a long period of time. In search of better growth, better job opportunities, better lifestyle, better cities, better schools for our children, better parks, better apartments, we keep moving from one city to another, we keep moving from one country to another. And what that makes us is we belong to no place. We keep moving from one place to another. We don't belong to our well. We don't belong to the place where we moved to, because we probably moved to this place 1 or 2 years back. And if you're in a good company that offers a lot of career growth options, you probably are moving one country to another in search of growth, and you probably have grown a lot. You're probably very successful, but at the end of the day, where do you belong? Only you know. And the sense and the feeling for and the longing for home always remains in our hearts, because at the end of the day, we want to go back to the place where we were born, where we think we belong to. And this feeling keeps pulling us down each time we see people moving back to their hometowns, right? And the biggest thing that this pandemic has taught us is the need for a strong support system for us to be leading our lives. It could be our house helps, it could be our family, but at the end of the day, we are nothing without our support system. And you must have seen that a lot of people during the pandemic, because they were unable to hire house helps, they actually ended up quitting their job. The prime reason for them moving out of their home was the need to do a job, and they quit that job because there was no support system, because most of our support system lies in our hometowns. And so what happens is that people like us, we belong to no place. We always have the longing and the feeling to go back home. We have zero support system. We are probably living in a city or a country where there is a different culture being followed. We do not know the local language. We do not understand the food people eat here, the way they dress up, their festivals. We probably do not feel that we belong to a particular place, and it will take a lifetime of effort from all of us to actually belong to a new place, and for the people in that place to understand and accept us as one of their own. And while I'm a big advocate for moving out of your comfort zone if you want more growth in your career, if you want to build your perspective, but I want to ask this question to everybody who says move out of your comfort zone, as to what is the end time for all of us to move out of our comfort zone. So do we need to move out of our comfort zone for the first 20 years of our career, or for the first 30 years of our career, or for our entire lifetime? And if that is the point, then why are we actually wanting to have a comfortable life? If we are only designed to move out of our comfort zone, why are we even working so hard to build a comfortable life? So my point here is that moving out of comfort zone is awesome, but till what point in time? So what I'm trying to say over here is that all the frogs in the well, we've moved out of the well thinking that there was nothing in the well, there were no digital interventions, but we end up belonging to nowhere, and we end up feeling lost and aimless at a point in time. And think of the other side, all the frogs that remained in the well, they have complete family support. They probably did not grow as much as us in their careers, but you realize that this well will not be dry for a long period of time. Someday there will be rain and there will be more bugs, and therefore the frogs that remain over here probably will get some food. Yes, there will be difficulties that these frogs will face when there is no rain, there are no bugs, but right now with the help of digital they can online order their bugs. You know what I mean? They can do something to get them afloat till the point there is rain and there are more bugs. And if all the frogs go back to their wells, there will be extremely high level of economic development in different parts of the world. The development, the opportunities, the lifestyle benefits will not be concentrated to certain cities or certain countries in the world. The development will be spread across different places in the world. That would mean that we will not all fight for the same resources. We will not all pay humongous amount of money for smaller and smaller apartments in big cities. We will not all be subject to pollution. We will be close to our family, celebrating our festivals, have an opportunity to retain our culture. And if we need more perspective, we can spend some money, travel around the world and get that perspective. We can watch videos and talk to people remotely and get to know more things about the world. We don't have to necessarily go out and live in another place to be able to know what that place is. So what I'm trying to say is that this gap between the well and the outside world has been reduced significantly because of digital interventions. And as of today, if we feel that all the frogs need to move out of their wells, then what would happen to all the wells, and what would happen to all the places where all the frogs are coming to? The point I'm trying to make here is that if we all go back to our hometowns and we try and use digital mediums to make more job opportunities for us, we will lead to more economic development in our hometowns. The cities will also benefit from the fact that a lot of people will have more space to breathe. The people who think that their wells are these cities, they will also lead a more comfortable, less competitive, less crowded life. All of us will benefit from it. So I would say the story of this frog and the well probably needs a little bit tweaking, considering there's a digital world and it's not so bad to be in your well, because at the end of the day, home is where heart is.